This week on the Full-Time Flippers Reselling Podcast.
Next up is BOLOs and NOLOs. One thing to be looking for and one thing that you wouldn't buy again.
Hi, I'm Chad the Quirky Picker. I'm a full-time reseller from Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Hi everyone, I'm Denis the Free King Flipper. I'm a full-time reseller from Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
I'm an everything seller, but I love to sell all kinds of electronics and anything unique and vintage.
I'm an everything seller as well, but I really enjoy finding and flipping our vintage toys, Sony Walkmans, vintage electronics.
Join us each week as we discuss life as a full-time reseller. We will share our experiences, both the good and the not so good.
Learn from our expertise and our mistakes.
From sourcing to listing to shipping,
Customer interactions, we will cover it all.
this is the Full-Time Flippers
Reselling Podcast.
Next up is BOLOs and NOLOs. One thing to be looking for and one thing that you wouldn't buy again. What do you have?
I have an awesome one. Awesome. I love this BOLO because I found one of these, not one of the big ticket ones, but I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and it sold overnight like that. Super Soakers from the 90s.
Okay.
I love finding these. You can still find them. People kind of don't understand how much money is involved in some of these. This is the one I've been looking for a while. This is from 1992. It has a backpack right here.
Mm-hmm.
And the backpack holds the water, and it's wild. This one I've sold one time, the CPS 2000. That thing is amazing. You can see there's a couple of them in here, $150.
Wow.
Here's the classic right here. This
Yep.
is the one that I had. This is the one I found a couple of weeks ago. Just actually that's an 08, so it's not very old. Mine look like that.
Are the dates on them? How do you know how old
Yes.
they are? I look at
Yeah, you can read the date on them, or you could look up the model number. This is the Super Soaker 30. So this is one of the original ones. And then they got like very spacey, like sort of scientific type. Here's another one. This is just like one of the first ones you would buy, this Super Soaker 50.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
even the ones that are, used, beat up, faded, $80, $45, $55 for these parts.
Yeah, I was going to ask about parts because I have a tank. I have some tanks.
Yep. People would want to buy that because they get broken, they get sun faded. Yeah, I mean, there's it's just wild how many are in here. But vintage Super Soakers, definitely. Go to a yard sale and ask if you have any squirt guns or outdoor toys, that type of stuff. $180 for this thing.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's wild. And of course, it's a great time right now to be selling those things because it's summertime. So
I have some in my death pile. I have those tanks.
Do you
in my
really?
death pile. I don't even have them listed. So I need to
totally list those. Yeah.
As soon as I get home from the beach, got to get those done.
Yeah, I still have other summer stuff that I haven't listed yet. I don't know why. I should totally get them going. But
My BOLO is what to be on the lookout for when you're at an estate sale and you're up in an attic that's 120 degrees and there are boxes everywhere in this attic. I was going through magazines. I was like Sports Illustrated, looking for covers that I like. And then I saw a box that said Christmas, but there was a box underneath it.
okay.
And then there was another box underneath that. So I took the Christmas box off and the top one said like Susie's Toys.
Ooh.
And it was full of dolls from the 1970s or earlier. I don't know anything about dolls. Then there was a box underneath it and it had a boy's name on it and said his toys. And I opened that box up and it was full of 70s Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, G.I. Joe, not only figures, but accessories.
My heart just stopped.
So-
Yeah, it's be still.
I barely paid. I don't know if I should say how much I paid for this, but I'll get criticized. I did not pay much at all for this box.
Okay.
I had
Well
no
done.
idea I didn't know what it was worth. It could have all been junk. Everything could have been broken. I didn't know. I didn't look. and it was 120 degrees. I wanted out of the attic. I grabbed that box, went downstairs, made a deal. I've been listing some of the toys, and every single toy that I've listed so far that is sold is way more than what I paid for the box. So let's give you some examples. Welcome to the show. Talking
Cool.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
Sold
that's
for
awesome.
$60, 1964. He was older than 70s. Boba Fett action figure.
Yep.
Just his rocket. I sold it for $55. This thing is like 3 inches long. I had no idea.
Awesome.
I could not believe it. It's worth more than
Wow.
the action figure.
Yeah.
It's 1977 Micronaut.
Micronauts. Yeah.
Yeah, this sold for 25.
Cool.
This horse sold for
wow.
24.70, basically 25. And this was plastic. This other one was this is all metal, and it has magnets for joints, so you can pop off like the arms and the head and everything, and the hands shoot off like rockets.
So cool. Oh,
Sold this Paul Stanley Kiss figure for $55, and the guy was extremely happy to buy this. I got so many offers for this thing in the first 12 hours.
That wasn't Sell Trash Get Money's husband that bought this?
Maybe.
Could have been. Maybe. I don't know.
Right. Yes.
$55.
Yeah. Battlestar Galactica,
wow.
2 toys. Those sold for
Awesome.
I think I took an offer in the low 40s on that one. And this gun,
Yes.
this one, Boba Fett, from Boba Fett, sold it for $50 plus shipping. This thing, it weighed like 1 ounce, tiny.
Yep.
So between that and the rocket, there's $100, and I still have some more accessories to go.
Amazing.
So I was freaking out. I thought that tub could be worth money, but I had no idea that these things were worth that much. I almost just put them together with the doll. I probably wouldn't even have got $80 if I sold them all together. But made over $100 on the 2 accessories, and I have a lot to go yet.
I mentioned the Geo Tracks last week, and the purple one that sold. But this is what I'm talking about. It has a remote. This isn't the one, obviously, because I sold it. And then the little train car, and sometimes there's a couple of cars on it. When you find these, definitely look them up. They vary in value, but the one I got was like a old-fashioned looking train with purple cars on it. And if you go and check the solds, it's $80, $50, $60, and $75 are the 4 most recent ones that have sold. So I bought a whole tub, like I said, for $20. So I made my money back like that. And now I'm selling lots of the tracks, which I shipped out today. Somebody wanted 2 lots, and that was almost $50. So it's great when you get that big bundle of stuff. But the real bolo, this is coming into the time where I go to yard sales, tools, even just simple hand tools, know your Cornwell, Mac, Snap-on, Craftsman. I buy and sell a ton of stuff. Just 5 or 6 wrenches, a nice little set, 10 wrenches set, ratchets and sockets, and this stuff flies. It's especially if it's in good condition and US made. Those are the 2 things you want to look for. But see if you can get some of that stuff for cheap and just start learning some of the sets that you can put together and sell. Craftsman, I know, has like a number on it that gives you kind of an idea of how old they are. But Craftsman now is considered vintage, or some pieces are.
Yeah.
But I just sold a set this week for $60, and I got it at a yard sale for $5. And or you go to a yard sale, everything's $1, and I'm like, okay, so I'll just put a nice set together, take my pictures, and send it out. Most likely utilizing a flat rate padded mailer for that, because they do get heavy.
But tools. I know there's the Reselling Information Network guys have a podcast, and Leroy on there. He's a big tools guy. He's always talking about his tool finds. So I know there's money in tools. My bolo is air purifiers. I bought an Auric XL air purifier, especially if they have ozone. This one didn't have an built-in ozone, but I paid like $5. I think it was $5 at a yard sale, and sold it for 50. Anyhow, I was just looking them up, the Oryx on TerraPeak, just to see. There's 23 currently listed, and there's 23 sold in the last 90 days. So you have a 100% chance of selling it in 90 days if you buy one. The average selling price is $40 plus $22 shipping. So if you pick them up for $5, it's usually an easy $40 bill. Is there a $40 bill? No, there's not.
No.
$40. There's no bill. Dennis, amaze us with your knowledge.
Well, my BOLO is that Monopoly game, Anthropology Derby Edition. We spoke with that. I got it for $5, sold it for $170.
So my BOLO is, and I was torn between this and something else, but I'm going with this today. This these are bowling balls, and they're 5 inches. They're like 15 inches in diameter. That means around, right? Yeah, 5 inches across. They each one weighs 3 pounds 9 ounces. They're called candle pin bowling balls, and they have another name too. I forget what the other name is. And they come in one bag. I bought these. I'm gonna say at an estate sale. They might have just got thrown into a lot of things I was buying, and they have sat in my warehouse for 6 months. I pulled these out like Wednesday out of storage and listed them, and had to figure out what they were and what they were called. And I put them up for $70.70 because I only found one sold comp of 2 of these in a bag, and it was $70. So I listed them for $70, and I started getting offers, $40, $50, $60. So I emailed the people that were, and the other 2 people, and I'm like, hey, I've got an offer for $60 already. And I sent them back a counter offer at 70, even though I'm asking 70 for it. And then somebody counter offered at 65. So I sold them in one day. So have you ever seen these bowling balls before?
Those are extremely popular in this area.
Yeah.
We don't do 10 pin. 10 pin is the ones with the holes in it.
Yeah. Right.
This is candle pin. So I'd say they're bigger than a softball, and it's to be held in one hand, like the palm of your hand. This is what I grew up playing, candle pin. That's what I thought bowling was.
Are they special bowling alleys then, and smaller pins and everything?
It's all special, definitely special pins. They're not, they don't look like the bowling ball or the bowling pins. They're just almost like straight up and down. There's no like part of it, and they just stand straight up like that. Very, very popular here in the Northeast. It's what I grew up at. Every birthday party, we'd go to the bowling alley. Everyone would smell like Marlboro cigarettes at the end of the day, and we'd all bowl candle pin. That's it.
So you might find these from time to time, but it's not. We don't have any bowling alleys that I'm aware of that have this. So for me to find this, I don't know. They must have moved from out of the area. But I will definitely be looking for these in the future because
that's good
in the pair. And if you have the bag, maybe it's because I had the bag too. It helped. But
no, someone will definitely be bringing those to a league that they belong to a league, and they'll show off their vintage bag, and then they'll have their own bowling balls, and that's exactly. Someone's going to use these, absolutely.
And it's important to put the exact pounds and ounces. That was important to the guy, and the circumference, which was 15 and 3/4, which means it's a 5-inch ball. So I guess there's only 2 sizes. There's a 5-inch, and then there's like a 4 3/4 or something. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was
The bag looks like it's in great shape.
It was. There was no rips or tears.
Wow.
No fraying either. You have a bolo for us.
I do, and this was last week. I had a couple of really good sales. I brought props. Don't worry. Sit down. We got some great knowledge to share with you folks, like first edition Stephen King books. First edition, first printing. I found a pile of these like 2 weeks ago at a Salvation Army for $1.99 a piece, and I have sold 5 out of the 12 so far. This morning I just sold Misery, and that was $24.99. I've also sold Firestarter, Carrie, The Stand, Salem's Lot, and those are all ranged from 25 to $79.99 for a book.
Wow.
$80 for a book. But yeah, definitely, if you see Stephen King, definitely pick it up and open it up and look for the first edition. And then it's gonna be hard for you guys to see, but this is the page you want to look for, and it'll have one date on it. If it has multiple dates, then you haven't found what you want, and those are probably worth about $4 or $5. Another reason to pick these up and look inside, if this is signed by King, now you're not talking about hundreds of dollars. You're talking about potentially a few $1,000s, depending on what book it is. If you look at do a quick search on eBay, there's some signed books in here for $4,000 and $5,000.
Wow.
It is absolutely wild. I sold The Shining too. That was a $60 book, $59.99. Another great one is It. If you can find the first edition It, it's worth some serious money. But people want to see the first edition and first printing, not the 8th printing, the 9th printing. That has a lot to do with the value of it. So this is a great bolo. You book people probably know this already, but go to the book section, do a quick scan, and pick them up. Check out the date on it. Check out the edition on it.
So what is first edition versus second? Do they actually go through and make corrections or changes?
So they can change it. The front artwork is going to be different, and a second edition will be somewhat different, especially the artwork. The people want what the original artwork looked like when he wrote the book.
Okay.
And then this one doesn't have a picture of him in it, but there's some goofy pictures. Sorry, Steven. There's some really cool, like, goofy pictures of him on the back cover. Full beard, totally creepy. And I guess people want that because as the editions get, later and later, then that's a more modern picture of him in the back. So if you want the original, then you go for a first edition. If you don't care about it, you just want to read the story, then just get a paperback book for $3 and read it.
My bolo is a very interesting bolo because it's 24 karat gold. And when I say 24 karat gold, probably everybody's ears have perked up. How can you find 24 karat gold? Well, I was at a yard sale last summer and I found 125 items that were 24 karat gold. And this is my prop. It's a blank CDR. And I don't know, if you can read where it says 24 karat gold somewhere on there, maybe in the too much glare. Somehow they put gold into these blank CDRs. I don't know how, but I bought 5 cases of them from a guy whose brother ran a recording studio, and these were left over in the studio. He was in charge of the estate, cleared it out, and was selling them in a yard sale. I'm getting on average $17 plus shipping per disc. And I have sold so far 45 of them for a total of $801. I paid $20 for a case of 25. So I paid less than $1 each. So I've sold 45 of them and I still have 80 more to go. And I've had them not quite a year. So I put them up in lots of, I sell them in quantities up to 5. Like I let the person choose how many they want. As soon as they sell, I just renew the listing, add 5 more out there, maybe change a photo around. Maybe someone else has them now. But nobody had them at one time. I was the only person. Yeah,
just look some up here.
Ultra Disc is the brand.
CDR?
CDR 24 karat gold.
24 karat gold CDR. Yeah, someone's selling a case of 25 for like $65.
A case of 25? Ooh, I just sold 5 of them for $65 total, plus shipping.
This was March 14th. It looks like they sold 2 cases of them. They're not the same. It's a different brand, I think.
Okay. Well, maybe the brand has something to do with it, because these are like recording studio quality. So that's my bolo. Be on the lookout for any blank CD that says 24 karat gold. I'm like, I wonder if you could pull the gold out of it, how much the gold would actually be worth. Like, is it worth even $1's worth of gold? I mean,
real briefly, I actually looked into like the scrap boards, circuit boards, and all that stuff. It is so much work.
Yeah,
it's a ton of work.
Right.
It is a chemical process to get it off. It's not like you're just clipping the thing off. So that idea fizzled pretty quickly. But yeah,
everyone has to entertain those thoughts. Go for it, Dennis.
All right. So yes, one thing to be looking for. I have been looking for this for weeks, if not a few months now. Okay. And I cannot believe how difficult it is to find this. This is just a Blu-ray, right? It's what's his name? Kevin Smith. He did Clerks. He did Clerks. He did a couple of them. Anyway, I'm trying to do the research on why this Blu-ray. It's now out of print, and it's not even that old. You would think that there would be they would still be making this. The reason why is I think the rights of this were sold, and then the company said that's it. We're not going to be showing this on TV, Netflix, nothing. So whatever is out there is out there. So you can see these pre-owned for $60, $80, $75 for pre-owned Blu-ray. There's a few other ones. I think new was almost $100. Well, this guy went to auction. Here you go, brand new, $145. Wow, it's crazy. That's just May 27th, so we're not really that far.
Yeah.
Here's June 12th. 3 of them sold in June 12th. They're calling it rare, out of print. Look for this. I know you'll find it. If you can get the DVD version, I believe the DVD version is not as sought after. Yeah, maybe. I know you're going to find one of these at a yard sale. I know you are. I know you're going to find it at a thrift store.
I don't think I've ever found it, but I haven't been looking for it specifically either.
Right. Now that your brain and eyes are connected, you're like, boom, I got one. Yeah. So you watch. I'll find one this weekend, and it's just how it works, right?
My bolo is something I just sold this week. It's a 1970s blacklight velvet poster.
Cool.
It's a Jaguar. I got $69 for it. And,
that's crazy.
Yep. It even had a little bit of mold on the corner there. I'm pointing to it. That was cheaper than some of the other ones have sold for. It's got a ripped corner here. But any of these blacklight posters from the 1970s, they are highly collectible. And I paid $1 for this one at my neighbor Tim's yard sale, the guy that had all the stereos. And velvet print was this one. And there's the back.
Oh, I see it. 35 by 23. It's a pretty good size poster.
Yeah. And so be on the lookout for velvet posters from the 1970s or blacklight posters. And you can carry like a blacklight UV flashlight. I have one actually, I think because it works for uranium glass as well. But I know there's different temperatures of black lights, and I don't know if uranium and posters need the same one or not. But if you do carry a black light, be on the lookout for them. If you're not already, most resellers probably are. You have one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's normally what I use.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's not the smallest one, but it definitely does the job. I look a little weird when I'm like walking through a thrift store and I'm flashing it and stuff, but they know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Right. Go for it.
You know what I have, right? I have props. I love props. This bolo is probably a well-known bolo, but it's Lego minifigures. So these ones, nice. And not anything, these aren't anything particularly valuable, but I love Star Wars minifigures. I love the Pirates, the Caribbean. Couple of other, maybe Marvel stuff like that. These are from Jurassic World.
Okay.
It's these two are Jurassic World. That's Owen and Claire, and then this one's from Jurassic Park. That's Sattler. But I just brought a couple, and then there's the old ones that you get in the little packages. They have like different series of them.
Yeah.
But if you go on and do a very quick search, type in Lego minifigures lot, L-O-T, okay? And then go to some of the highest priced ones. And someone is selling 10 pounds of minifigures. And they took an offer. Oh, what was it? Well, it was on there for $20,000.
Whoa.
And they took a best offer. Here's one, 16 pounds of minifigures. They took a best offer of $6,000. Here's one of just all Star Wars minifigures. It went to auction, sold one bid, $5,900. Another pile of them. I mean, it's in the thousands of dollars. Here are 225 figures, Star Wars, $2,500.
Are the individual heads and hands and body parts all just thrown in a bag or a box or something?
these look like full 8 pounds of pieces, but 16 pounds of complete figures. But if you go in and you look at the single ones, you can actually look up single. There's a Star Wars one. It's like an older phase one. One of the clone troopers named Fox, and it was listed for $2,500. It took a best offer.
Wow.
Some of them are crazy. There's like some. This is a DC universe. It came from the San Diego Comic Con, and it's a minifigure in the package for $3,800. There's like 3 or 4 of them for that price.
Wow. Wow.
Another one from San Diego Comic Con. It is a Superman with a black uniform, $5,400.
How do you date them? How do you date them? With Google Lens?
There's an app or Google Lens that you just take the chess piece and you take a picture of that. There's an actual app for it that you just hit it on there, and then it'll bring you up the figure, and then it'll even bring you up some comps on it too. It's really cool. So if you don't know what it is, you'd take the picture right here or take the whole thing, but it's really looking for the chest piece. But you got to make sure you have the proper, everything else is the same. Mm-hmm. Otherwise it really devalues the price on it. Like, he's complete. The hair, the face, even the hands, everything goes on there. But you know how kids love to take them apart, put different pants on. That really devalues them. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have it, like, this is a live actual listing that I have going on. I don't have, God, I'm losing it here. It's the guy from Jurassic Park. He's not the paleontologist, the guy that's digging up stuff. Anyway, that's his hat. And then I just have the chest piece. I don't have the face or anything. So people buy them. People buy parts too. But if they came with accessories, you're going to want the accessories, the little stuff, the gun, the shovels, and all that. So, but it's fun. I love buying big, giant, bulk, piles of Legos and digging through and finding all the minifigures. You pull 3, 4, 5 minifigures out, and it's going to pay for the entire thing. So
yeah. And how often do you come across these?
Pretty often. Marketplace and yard sales. Go ask. And hey, anything that you're looking for, anything particular that you're looking for, and go, yes, I collect Legos. Oh, hold on a second. Bam. She'll come out with a big Rubbermaid container. Boom, throw it down. I'm like, oh, great, this looks good. I'll buy it. How much? She's like, I don't know, make me an offer. There you go. My offer is always $20. That's just what I throw out there. Yeah. Sometimes they'll do sure. Other times they'll be, oh, no. Like, all right, well, you said make an offer. I did. Yeah. And then counter, and she'll say something crazy, or he'll come back with, $100. I'm like, no. And then we'll meet somewhere in the middle. If I find minifigures in it while I'm digging, then I kind of know, how much to counter or how much to offer in the first place.
Yeah. I rarely find them.
Ask.
So
it's crazy.
I'm going to come out. I might have to ask. Like, I ask about electronics a lot of times if I don't see any. So now I'm going to ask for remote controls and minifigure or Legos.
Just Legos. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then hope there's some minifigures in there. If I don't
If
see any
there are-
minifigures, should I pass?
It depends if they're, do you know like what the vintage Legos look like? Very simple, like very primary colors. They don't have, if you see
Mhm.
pink in there or teal or, you know, some of these other like Star Wars colors,
Okay,
probably
they're
not.
new. Yeah.
They're newer. It still have value though. Depends on how cheap you can get it for. A big
Mhm.
Rubbermaid container of just all mixed Legos. If I could get it cheap enough, I'd buy it. And then
Mhm.
that process of going through the entire thing and making sure there isn't trash, fake Legos, those Mega Block things.
Mhm.
You don't want any of that crap in there. I always find like
Okay.
30 cents in there too. Always
And
at the bottom.
paperclip.
They're just random change. You know, chewed
Yeah.
piece of gum.
Rubber
Oh yeah.
bands.
Oh yeah. Yep. But it's fun. I enjoy finding them. I enjoy selling them.
My BOLO is something that maybe gets overlooked a lot. It's a DVD. The Hallmark TV channel, like
Mhm.
especially during the holidays, they just have tons of like sappy, cheesy movies.
Wait, you're talking
picked up
about the
a-
one where she's from the country and he's a big city guy and he
Yes.
comes to visit her, but the farm is having some problems and I think I've seen that.
Mhm.
That's every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Yes, pretty much.
Any case.
Slightly tweak the setting and you got the same movie.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they sell for me all the time. I bought a huge lot of DVDs one time, took most of them to Goodwill, but as I was comping them all the Hallmark made for TV movies had good sales. And there was like maybe 15 listed and 15 sold in the last 90 days. And I get between $10 and $15 each.
Wow.
So you'll come across those quite a bit.
Not the Hallmark ones,
Oh.
but the other Lifetime. I'll come across
Lifetime.
those.
Okay.
Lifetime movies, and they
Yeah.
have like a set, and those fly.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
Yeah, and those would be considered cheesy movies as well, like low
Yeah.
budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably say that I'm going to get attacked by somebody. How dare you call these cheesy?
I love those.
My mother watches them all. Every time
Mine
I
does-
go back
Mine
to
does too.
Ohio, that's the channel that's on TV.
Yeah. Oh, and Mom, thank you for watching. And I'm only kidding about Lifetime movies.
My mom isn't watching that I know of. If she is, she hasn't told me yet.
What do you have, Dennis?
This is something that I found probably 2 years ago. It was in a bin full of toys, and I'm digging through and I'm, looking at stuff. So normally what I'll do is I'll take everything that I know and I'll put it aside, and then all the unknowns I'll leave in the bin. And this is probably in the bin for, I don't know, a week. And then I go through the bin. I'll actually look stuff up. I'll use, Google pictures and do the reverse image search and all that. But I had no idea what it was. And it's from the show Ben 10 on, was that Cartoon Network? And
I don't know.
the watches that they have, it's a Ben 10 watch.
Okay.
So you can see it. What are they calling it? Omnitrix watch. But here's some solds for that. And they're all, here we go.
They project
There's
on
one
the
for-
ceiling on the wall.
30, 35 bucks is one with the band, $40. Here's one in the package, 35 bucks. So you'll find these around. And again, I paid nothing for it, but this is probably what you'll find here. Any one of these. Here's a crazy one. I have no idea why that was $100, but looks like 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 bucks.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you're probably going to walk by it 9 times out of 10. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to leave a $25, $30 item just sitting there, especially if you can get it for free,
Yeah.
So Ben 10 Omnitrix watches.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll find them now. and yeah, $25. So it's not a huge bolo, but it's, like I said, I found it for free. So you probably will do the same thing.
All right. Well, my bolo is something I found 4 of these last weekend at a yard sale, and it's not the first time I found them. And that item is a Norwex mop. Have you heard of the company Norwex?
I have not.
They're like a network marketing company. My wife used to sell products from them, but they're high quality, like microfiber cleaning products. You can just use water and you don't have to use chemicals. Good for the environment. They're not cheap. So this is, afraid to click on this. Yeah, these mops, it has a green handle down here at the green ball. If you ever see this mop, I bought one in an estate sale for $1 last fall and sold it for $56, I believe.
Come on.
And this doesn't even have a mop pad on it. But as you can see, some of them, some of these are selling for 60, 65. Let's see. Oh, these are like with the pads and stuff. That's what the pad looks like for the mop. And that one sold for $69 plus shipping. So if I found 4 of them and I paid $5 each at a yard sale, and they're still sitting in my warehouse. I haven't listed them yet, but yeah, if you see Norwex products, they're typically high quality, and there's like a cult following maybe from the people that like to buy that stuff. And they'd pay a lot of money for this brand new. So yeah, Norwex is my bolo. Go for it, Dennis.
So my bolo, and it's probably, again, a well-known one, but I love finding point and shoot film cameras and even some digital cameras. The Olympus, that little Olympus one that has the slide right here.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but you can find these. You can absolutely find these at small thrift stores, especially yard sales. And you're probably going to pay between $5 and $10 for this. Let me see if I can bring the page up. Okay, so this is the one I was just saying right here. This is the Olympus stylus. I mean, look at that, $70. And then you're going to have a few more that are worth the money. I've never seen that one before, $100. But
wow.
There's a Pentax, $40. Here's another Olympus, $50. A Minolta, the little slide cover right there. So this is the one I find at yard sales a lot. This is an all-weather one, Olympus Stylus 150. I have flipped probably a dozen of these in the past couple of years. $80, and that thing will probably sell overnight. Super easy to test. I don't film test them. They're going to ask you that. But I don't. I check for functionality. I put batteries in it. And, I mean, these are great. You're going to find them everywhere. Look at, we're still on April 5th. Look at all the sold. Here's another one. Olympus Stylus Epic Zoom 80, $125 as the manual.
Wow.
So, that type of stuff, I absolutely love doing it and love finding those. You're going to find them at yard sales. I'm telling you, now that your eyes are going to stop and you're going to be like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And look it up. I mean, they all have the name, the model, and the make and the model right there. And I'll give you another tip too. Make sure you are opening up the battery compartment. If it is filled with corrosion, it depends. Some of them people will actually buy for parts. And, the other ones, like the digital, you can tell right away if it's a smaller megapixel, like 1 or 2 megapixels, just leave it there. But if you're getting up to 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 megapixels, these things sell. The little Nikon, the colored ones are like red and blue. You get $100 for those all day long. So,
why
great bolo.
Why do you think they're so popular with cameras, with phones with cameras now?
Yeah, I know. And I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, well, my phone, even though it's an older iPhone, still takes amazing pictures. Why would somebody want a film camera? I think it's the younger generation that never had these, and they think it's really cool, to have something that isn't so technically, advanced. And I think that goes with a lot of the stuff that you and I grew up with, that we're like, yeah, that was fun. But I mean, we're off to faster and better things. These kids are already born into the faster things. And now they're like, well, we want cassette tapes are making a comeback, film cameras. I mean, all the old stuff, vinyl, they like that older technology, and they're bringing the popularity back. And of course, the value is coming back too now. So,
well, my bolo is I have more digital props here. Local cookbooks.
Really?
Like with the plastic comb binding there on the side.
Yeah.
If I go to yard sales and I see them for like 50 cents, sometimes less, and they're like, see, this one says Strasburg, PA on the bottom, so it's local. You'd be surprised how many people want these old cookbooks from this area. Now, a lot of times their grandparents might have been in the book. If you go through the pages and it tells who the recipe's from. Churches will do this all the time. They used to do it all the time. Like local fire departments for fundraisers, people would just write in with, or they would just submit a bunch of recipes. Maybe this isn't obvious, but you didn't think this would be a good bolo.
No.
Okay. But if you can pay less than $1 and they're local, I don't know. I mean, it's just a big thing. Maybe it's a Pennsylvania thing more than a Massachusetts thing. I don't know. But I pick them up all the time for 50 cents. I probably have 60 to 70 in my store at this point, and I sell 2, 3, 4 a week. And this one, I don't know what this one sold. I took an offer, but maybe like $15. I'd have to look it up for sure. But I'm usually price them a little bit higher than I'll actually take for them. But if I'll go on eBay and look, and there won't be any of a particular cookbook for sale or sold in the last 3 years. It'd be like 1955, some church in a local in the area. So I'm buying those all day long, putting them up for like $24, and I'll sell them.
Wow. I know I've passed over these multiple times. I just know I have, because the binding sticks out, and I know I just
Well,
or donated them.
If they're like nationally produced ones, I don't buy them. And some of them, and what's really like, some of them you'll open up and you'll see like they were made like Fun Craft, I think is the brand that they mass produce these for people. And so all the like index pages are the same. But if you can find one that a church actually made and like typed out back in the day before computers, and they have names on each recipe, I'll have people say, can you look at tell me if this recipe is in this cookbook, and then tell me if my grandmother's name, if my grandmother's name. So when I take pictures of them, I will take a picture of the entire index, all the index pages of every recipe in the book. So they can actually zoom in on the photos and see every single recipe in the cookbook. They can't see how it's made, but just the index, the titles.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
They want that because their grandmother submitted recipes, or great grandmother, who knows?
Wow. Very cool.
Yep. Go for it, Dennis.
This was also not a home run, but an awesome sale this week. And I had no idea. The only reason why I picked this thing up was because another seller in front of me, I think he was a seller. I'm pretty sure this guy was a seller. Picked it up, looked at it, like turned it all around, and just put it back down. So I picked it up. It was still in the box. This is a vintage Pyrex percolator for like coffee, right?
Yeah.
And if you can see, there's a lot of different pieces. There's parts, used ones. Mine was brand new. Oh, there it is right there. Right here. See the box? See the cardboard still in it? I bought this for $4.99 at a thrift store, and it was flipped for $80.
Jeez.
But you can see there's a lot of them in here. There's a used one for 70 and one for 60. Oh, look at this. Now I'm getting
You got an offer. I got an offer. You got an offer.
This is wild. Yeah, here's one for 50. Here's another one for 80, 40 and 50. So look for these. I think the number is right here, 7754B. Okay. And this is a 4-cup. Mine was a 6-cup. 6-cup percolator right there. It said it right on the box. Yeah, we get it. And it sold in, I think, 3 days. It was gone in 3 days.
Hmm.
But I had a ton of offers. I think I was up to 14 watchers at one point, and somebody offered me $60, and I said, "Not with 14 watchers. I'm not. I'm going to hold off." And sure enough,
Yeah,
the very
right.
next
Yep,
day,
yep, yep.
very next day, it was gone. And yeah, that's a really fun one.
Yeah.
So, vintage Pyrex percolator.
All right. Well, my bolo is something I found a couple weeks ago at a yard sale. I walked up and I thought it was Legos. And as I look closely, I'm like, this isn't Legos. And what I found was it's called
cool.
an Exon Castle.
Wow.
Now, I listed it for $99 and it sold. I had the only one. There's like 5 different castles in this golden series. And this was gold. This was series 3 out of 5. And I was the only one. There was no solds in 3 years and no one had one listed. But all the similar sets were selling for like $80. So I listed mine for $99 and it sold for $80. Let's see if I can show you some pictures. I took it out of the box and laid it all the pieces out, and it was missing maybe, I don't know what it's like, 3 or 4 pieces total, and mostly like stickers and flag, and the tips of all the castle tops were broke off. And I got 80. I mean, someone offered me 80, and I know all the other sets sold for like 80. This one might be more rare just because there was like series 1, 2, and 4 and 5. There was like several of them out there, but nobody had series 3. So I paid $3 for this at a yard sale, sold it for 80. And
Nice.
yeah, I've never heard of Exon Castles, but when I go to Terapeak and I look up Exon Castles, as you can see, these are sold the last 3 years. This top one sold a little over a year ago. There's no picture. I don't think I can. Nope. That sold for $700. This one, oh wow, that's quite a lot. That's 16 pounds of Exton Castles for $550. Here's a series 3 of a different one than mine, but $544. And then you're still up in the 400s here. Now we're getting down to the 300s. Exton Castles. So yeah,
wonder where they were made.
Yeah. Italy, I believe.
Okay.
If I can remember right. I'm trying to find mine, or similar to mine. Look how bad that box is.
Oh, wow.
And that one still sold for $248 at auction.
Wow.
26 bids, maybe? Is that what that says? Anyhow, Exon Castles, be on the lookout for them. They all have pretty good, and even if it's not complete, you can sell it for parts.
Never heard of it.